Welcome into the Ranch Sitdown. Our guest today, a man who for now almost 40 years have been a champion of the songwriter, put together one of the most incredible, unique music festivals ever, the great John Dickson. How are you, sir? I mean, 40 years. So let's start at the beginning. What inspired you to start a music festival?
Wasn't really trying to start a music festival. I just want to get a group of friends together and just have a good time. And wherever I go, there's going to be music around. So, I answered an ad in the college paper to see if I could get 15 people. I had to sell 15 trips to get a free one. And so I can do that.
Trying to get one for yourself?
Yeah, trying to get one for myself. Because I was kind of a poor, struggling student there. I said, well, I'll get my trip paid for. And I think that first year I've sold 600 trips. So I asked a lot of friends to come with me. A lot of them were musicians. I said, hey, you can come on this trip, but you're going to have to work it off by playing for all of us. And so that's kind of the basis how it happened.
So what would you say was one of the biggest hurdles to get this thing started for you?
Just learning, the whole dynamics of having 600 people and then 1,000 the next year of checking them in and just the logistics. But I really was fortunate to have a bunch of people come to help me out and so forth. And then I started hiring a staff. And again, I was in college. That was not, it wasn't the plan to start a business. It was just to have fun, and I get to go skiing for free and and get to listen to the music I enjoy. And then all of a sudden it kind of came together, and just a lot of good people came to help me out, friends and family and so forth, where, hey, help me check in these people. So it's, seamless and easy to do, and doesn't interrupt their vacation. Let's treat people the way you want to be treated, the way we want to be treated on a vacation. And then you turn them loose on the mountain and have shows going on all week. And we had an activity, a busy, lineup of all the things going on that week. So it was just really a lot of fun. And it was, in those days, it was very unique. I don't think there was any kind of a ski trip or event, or a destination event where there was music. So that was something like I said, I just enjoy music, and I wanted to have it with me while I'm on vacation, especially live music.
Absolutely. So you still have friends and family helping you out now.
You know what? We have people that have worked on this that are there every year, going on 40 years. People that have been part of it, now they're bringing their families up, and they help with check-in, they help with setting up, and it's, and they know that, there's a certain way we want to do things to make sure that it takes care of our attendees and takes care of the bands. And so, it's, and we always try to, improve on that too. And then we bring in, we have a lot of people up there, but there is a big core. It's an annual reunion for us.
It is incredible the difference between this music festival and almost every other music festival on the planet. And no offense to it, because I go to a lot of music festivals, but a lot of them are, hey, there's a big field, and bring your lawn chair, here's some porta potties, and here's some music, have some fun. This is just, it's high class is what it feels like. When I walked in, I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm inside. I can walk outside and see the snow. I can go skiing. I can go snowboarding. I can have some great dinners, some great drinks. It's an absolute experience that I got to go for the first time this year, as you know, and I didn't see probably half of the things that I could have done.
Well, you hit it, saying there's something there for everyone. Starting with the lodging, you have the neat little chalet if you want to do that, little mountainside chalet, do the most luxurious penthouse, there's and everything in between, condos and things like that, whether you want a hot tub on your deck or a walk out the door of your condo and you're at one of the venues, so there's something there for everyone. And that's one of the, and it's all within walking distance or just a short distance to all the, we have 10 stages, 10 different venues. And that's the sweet thing is you can, each one of them has a different character. So if you want to go kick your heels up and dance all night, you go to the Big Ten. If you want to sit down at one of the smaller venues and listen to a singer-songwriter tell a story about a song, and then everything in between. So there's something there for everyone.
There really is. And I mean, it's up-and-comers, it's established songwriters, it's these young people that are just becoming huge stars. I remember seeing a set last year with Courtney Patton, Bruce Robinson, and Ty Myers. And Bruce is one of the greatest songwriters of this music scene ever. When you've got George Strait covering your songs and Tim and Faith covering your songs and the Chicks covering your songs, you're doing pretty well for yourself. And for him to say, I don't want to follow this kid again after Ty sang, but yeah, to see combinations like that is something you're never going to get to see in hardly ever in your life. So like there had to be that moment, John, when you started this festival, probably a few years into it, where you said, this is working. This is exactly what I wanted. Do you kind of remember where that point was in this music festival?
I don't know if I don't want to sit there and say it's always worked, but we always try to take it to the next level every year. The first year, it was an incredible event. Now, that was the first year I did it. Could we improve on it? Yeah. So we improved on those elements, and we met those. And I said, okay, well, now that we've improved on that and got that dialed in, let's see if we can take it to another level, as in, hey, let's add this other show, a unique show. I remember the first time we said, hey, let's do a show outdoors. Which the local people
seemed brave.
Well, we didn't know any better. We're a bunch of Texas guys.
Right.
And we're just like, this is what we do. We do stuff outdoors.
Right.
And, the local people up there are like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, well, we're going to. and it was pretty crazy. It was snow. I remember the first band played outdoors. We didn't have a cover over it. It was snowing on them.
Oh, my goodness.
They were getting a little electric shock from their guitar. And one of the guys had a saxophone actually in the band, and his lips were sticking to the reed, and so we improved on that. But I didn't realize I was going to keep doing this, and then I'm like, people are having a really good time, and people want to be on this festival and be a part of it, and we just to be a part of that, seeing everybody have so much, such a good time, and you had something to do with that, and then as the music progressed into what the music is today, and to give an opportunity, a platform for a lot of these musicians. Tom Meyer had not been to the festival until last year, and having a young artist like that get in front and getting to play with two incredible talents, that's one of the wonderful things about this festival. So, but it's ever growing. It's always evolving. We're never. I don't sit easy with. I said, hey, what can we do better? What's one little thing? Even if it's the smallest thing, to do it better for not only for the attendees but for the artists, for everyone, and just the for the festival.
So the music scene, obviously, the Texas Red Dirt music scene has changed a lot since we started. I mean, before when you started it, there was not really technically a Texas music scene.
Yeah.
So you've seen some crazy growth in these music scenes. Because and honestly, a lot of times we've heard about bands first because of this amazing performance they had at MusicFest. That's got to feel really good to be so involved in such an entity that kind of helps leap some of these bands.
Well, first and foremost, one of the most gratifying things is to see everybody just having a good time, and you had a part to do with that. Everybody gets to take a break from life, everyday deal, and get up there and have the time of their life. But for artists to be able to be seen and be heard for the first time at a festival, and 50% of the people are from Texas, but we have people from all over the country and international guests, and they're on a big platform there, and when they knock it out of the park, the word travels,
it
all
travels
over the world.
fast.
Literally, it does, and I do know that people look at this festival to see who they're going to hire for their fairs and things like that, or whatever shows, and it's a very. And, one thing is we want to make sure that we have the highest quality music at the festival.
Right.
And we do our best to provide that. And I think that's shown, our history shows. I don't have to talk about it, but the caliber of artists that come through there, some of them that started on a bar stool, and next thing you know, they're playing some of the biggest stages in the country. And we're fortunate to be part of that and had a small role in that for those artists.
So when you have such an established festival like this with some of these artists that, like you said, started, we talked about earlier when we were chatting before we did this interview, Cody Johnson was doing open mic night, and then he's, playing your big stage, and then the Houston Rodeo. You obviously have a lot of artists that want to be a part of this festival every year. How do you select a lineup? It's got to be just maddening process.
Well, I don't know if it's mad. It's fun to find the new music and so forth, but it is a challenge. You want to make sure they check off certain boxes. There's quite a few, and that these are there's a lot of talent out there, but the work ethic and how they want to present themselves, what are their goals, and the main thing is just being grounded and genuine.
Right.
We're not looking for the next pop artist type deal. Popularity. I don't want to get that confused with popularity and pop, but
right.
We're trying to get the ones that are they're singing from their heart and singing the songs that we love and the ones that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about a certain theme, but so we really look at that and see who's really grounded and that's kind of the community, the Music Fest community. It's a grounded group, authentic is what we use. We use the word genuine. One of our taglines is "Get real," but when everything else is going with all this whatever type music is going on,
right.
This is always the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
What you're hearing is a song that has a story behind it.
Right.
And that's the other fun thing about the festival is getting to hear the stories behind it. And some of those smaller venues,
it is.
Hey, here's the song I wrote, and here's why, and here's the experience.
So I said you're a champion for the songwriter. You always have been, and it creates those really incredible magic moments because it's songs that resonate with people and make people feel things. Which I've always said, music should make you feel something.
Yeah.
And so you just fill an entire lineup of like 80 artists that do that. And so that's why it's just, I think it's why it's been so successful and had such a long run. Was there ever that one artist you wish you could have booked but never were able to?
George Strait.
George Strait's the one.
Well, I can't say that because he was already filling up arenas and
right.
stuff like that. But I was bartending at Green Hall back in the days, and George was playing that stage, and I was like, wow, this guy ought to be really on bigger stages. That's a long time ago. And that was before the festival had started. So I'm joking.
Okay.
But is there an artist I wish I would have gotten? I mean, I don't know. I've been really fortunate and blessed with the artists we've had. I mean, we've had the best of the best of Texas music.
Absolutely.
Either started the festival or come through it. And I don't know of anybody I've really missed. That's a good question. I've never been asked that. But I cannot think of anybody that we've missed that I really would have liked to have on there. That's where they are right now. I guess I don't know. We've had some just incredible musicians.
Well, maybe we can still get George.
Yeah,
we'll try. So somebody's going out to Music Fest for the first time. Is there any advice you'd give them?
Oh man, find somebody that's been to the festival,
right?
And ask them. Say, hey, how do I navigate? It's a simple festival, but it's really hard to explain. This was your first year, and trying to explain to you, hey, here's what this is going to be like. But then once you get there and experience, you're like, oh wow, there's a lot of moving parts of this. So you ask somebody, befriend somebody at the festival, and say, hey, what do you suggest? Should I go to this venue? What time should I go to this one? And how do I make these 3 shows in one night? I mean, it's all within walking distance, but there's a little. And you learn it, and it's fun if you just do it blindly. It's just go after it, but it's
right.
Just study the app and look at who's playing and where and when, and there's a lot of neat things. And get up on the mountain. Do not pass that opportunity. And even if you're not a skier, your Music Fest pass comes with a gondola ride. You go up top and go sit at the warming hut.
Beautiful ride up to that mountain.
It's incredible,
yeah,
you've got to go on top of one of the most beautiful places on the planet. It's remarkable. And of course, at the top of the mountain, we're going to have music up there too. Live music.
Right. There's music everywhere.
It's not like you're going to see music wherever you go. So, but just soak it in and ask the Dickson production staff. Ask anybody. And it's once you get one under your belt, it's like, okay, I got to come back and do this because I missed this. I got to go try this. And there's a ton of activities to do in Steamboat. Just so much stuff. And you mentioned there's shopping and dining and then the snowmobile and all the different aspects of the hot natural springs. There's just so much to do, and you can't do it all in 1 week. That's impossible.
I remember riding on the shuttle from the airport to the Steamboat Grand, and was talking to these other couples that were going to the festival as well. We'd all shared a plane ride together and waiting and loaded up on the shuttle while it's just beautiful snow around us, and we're in there, and and everybody's talking about how many years, and I'm the new guy, and they're just so excited that I'm the new guy, and I was like, so tell me, and they just, one old guy goes, don't sleep. That's the thing. Don't sleep. See as much as you can. And he was right. He really was.
Well, it's when the Braun brothers put together a video back in the day. It's No Sleep Till Texas.
Right.
That's what it's called. I mean, you really,
Yep.
yeah, you know, there's always something going on 24/7.
There really is.
Festival. But you know, that's the other thing. Like you mentioned, there's such a friendly, wonderful group that goes on this event. Not only just the artists, but also the fans and the people that have been gone for years. And you know, there's a good energy. You know, and a lot of people there just to have a good time. And you know, we all come from different walks of life, but we have that one common bond of this genuine, grounded music, and it kind of shows in the character of everyone there and the friendships that are made. You know, we've made friends for a lifetime from all over the country. I've got friends all over the country now.
I bet. Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, and international friends. It's a reunion every year.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of hit on something about how they were going to help you out because you know you're a first timer and they were excited. Oh, okay, here's the things you got to do.
Yep.
And one of them would be, don't sleep if you want to kind of catch as much as you can.
You ever notice the spark in your eye every time you talk about this festival?
Well, it is. You know, I don't know how. I've heard musicians talk about a song, and it's like a child. Have you heard that?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You're talking to them, says,
Yeah.
this is like my child, and you know whatever. This festival is like that. It's not a, you know, it's not work. It's really something I enjoy. And it's, you know, I love music. I've always listened to music all my life, but being around the people that enjoy it, people that create it and make it, and you know, these are the soundtracks to our life. This music we're all listening to at this
Really
thing.
is.
You know, we have new artists, but we have the veteran artists, and we've all grown up with it. And then it's exciting to see the new artists come in with that same passion and that same, you know, some incredible talent that's coming up.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard to keep up with it.
It's hard to keep up right now, but there's some great artists coming up.
40 years, John. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Shane.
It's just absolutely incredible, and I can see you're just as passionate today as you probably were year one trying to figure out how to get these trips sold.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate the ranch being a part of it for all the years that y'all have. Y'all are part of this festival and have supported this music since the beginning. And it's great to have you guys have this long-standing relationship and have you guys up there. Y'all are do wonders for this music and the festival and all the festivals around here. There's a lot of great festivals, and this one's MusicFest is pretty special. It's a little different than most of them, but I love all the other festivals too. I go to a lot of festivals myself.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan too, but MusicFest is special because there's a lot of things that come together up there.
It's very unique. It is
very unique, yeah, definitely.
So, if someone wants to get a ticket, are there any available?
Well, you know, we that's kind of it's sold out for 23 consecutive years. So
That's
we're very
amazing.
fortunate.
Yes.
Yeah. And there is we have a program that for people that have gone before where they get to what we call a pre-reservation system. We're one of the first, if not the first festival to ever do this, where you can pre-reserve while you're on the festival for the next year.
Very smart.
But we leave enough availability for new people to come in. And so, there is a way to get it. Go to themusicfest.com.
Perfect.
Sign up for the newsletter, the e-letters, and get on our social media and stuff like that. And it'll give you the dates of when tickets go on sale and packages go on sale. A little advice is do look at the website and look at all the choices of, you know, lodging. There's a ton. Like I said, there's the little quaint, you know, little tavern type venues or lodging to the, you know, everything in between to the top luxury, and there's houses, you know,
beautiful
so it's just,
condos and houses you can rent. Yeah.
And it's, you know, ski in, ski out, or you walk out your door and you're at the venue. It's, you know, there's everything. So you just got to kind of know what you're doing. And if you know anybody that's been to the festival, ask them, you know, their advice.
40 years celebrating this year at Steamboat's Music Festival. John Dickson, thank you so much for chatting with us, sir.
Shane, thanks for having me.